Hello and welcome to another episode of the Landscaper Grow Show. My name is Mark. Today I'm speaking with Ayden Sullivan at Diamond Lawn Care in Wentzville, Missouri. Ayden, thanks so much for being with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, great. So I would love to start just by hearing what services you provide for your customers.
Yeah, so we are a full maintenance company. So we do lawn mowing, fertilizer, spring cleanups, mulch, trimming bushes. We're starting to get into more landscape project based. So we'll do drainage solutions and smaller retaining walls. Nothing too big yet. And we haven't stepped into pavers yet, but some more of the
Okay.
maintenance side, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay. And how long you been doing this?
Yeah, since 2022. So that was my sophomore year of high school. And so I guess this 5 or 6 years now, the second or third full time, just, 40 plus hours a week, just trying to grow it and get it going and just trying to keep it going. So,
That's amazing. Do you have some other folks on your team?
so right now there's me and there's three other guys full time. And then there's one guy that will work 2 to 3 days a week here and there just for extra help here and there. So yeah,
Okay.
got two trucks, a few trailers. So we normally roll out with a couple crews.
That is amazing.
Yep.
So, Ayden, how did you get into all this? I mean, you're in high school. I mean, most high schoolers running around, whatever, hanging out. I'm sure you're doing plenty of that too, probably. But how did you get into all this during high school?
Yeah, I guess I just started mowing my own yard. My dad, I guess, didn't want to mow anymore, so he had me mow it. And then I was like, you know what? I could mow some of the neighborhood. So I got, two or three in the neighborhood. And then once I could drive, I kind of just went full steam ahead, posting on Facebook, door hangers, that sort of thing, and just got it going. Now we do about 90, 100 yards a week and then 2 to 3 landscape jobs a day. So just trying to keep growing it at a good quality pace. So
That's great. Are there a lot of landscapers in that Wentzville area, kind of west of St. Louis?
yeah, there's a good amount. So I'm in St. Charles County, and so there's Wentzville's big, O'Fallon, St. Pete. There's about 4 towns right by each other that are pretty big, the suburbs. So there's, lots of competition and stuff in our area. So
Okay,
definitely.
great. Well, we talked a little bit about some things that I don't know, kind of on your focus, on your mind, or things you're kind of focused on these days. One is sort of how to scale the business. I mean, you've got 3 or 4 guys, you've got a couple of trucks running, do a lot of landscape projects. Nice portfolio of business. What kind of stuff are you seeing that's sort of challenging sometimes? And, also curious to share your experience with other lawn care professionals that may be struggling with some of the same stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, what have you run into when trying to kind of scale the business?
So a lot of things. So I've just started rolling out with 2 crews where I'm not on the crew this spring. So some of the problems I've been running into is certain things on the job I might just know in my head on we're doing this and that. Well, now if I'm not on the job, I need to document that better for my team because they don't exactly know what we're doing, right? So on our software I use, I either got to make clear instructions or videos so they know what to do. And then also knowing what tools to bring and stuff of that nature. Because if we get to a job and 2 or 3 tools we need aren't there, then they got to drive back to the job, and it just loses production time. And I guess it's just more admin work putting in that so they have a good solid foundation of what they know to do for the day.
Mm-hmm.
I've been running into that, and then just finding good help, just having people show up when they're scheduled, and just That's a big thing, especially for our area. I feel like a lot of people run into that. So
Oh, really?
yeah.
They're in the St. Louis area, folks, not one to show up right on time, huh?
Yeah, it's just hard. A lot of the bigger companies have the H2 BV guys. So I'm gonna look into that for next year. But as far as this year, it's hard.
Yeah, sure. Okay. And how have you learned to, I mean, you've been at this just a few years, you're too young to have grown up with a landscaping background, right? Like to, I mean, haven't
Yeah.
even been alive long enough to have done this for 15 to 20 years. Like, you know, how have you learned to do these projects? So these larger landscaping projects that you're doing, when you go in and quote something out like that, I mean, it's all kind of T&M, or are you indeed going in and saying, okay, this is a, $6,000 project we're going to do, quoting all that with the materials and everything else? How have you learned that, and how do you go about kind of quoting projects?
Yeah, honestly, I've just learned a lot I underquoted this one and I've lost money on this one. I've learned that way. The other thing is just like, say, a retaining wall or a French drain, like, measure it out, all the materials I'll need. I'll add a little markup just because we got to go get them and everything. And then how long I think it's going to take, and then what I want to make per man hour, and then just add that up, and then factor in my overhead, just insurance, shop rent, truck payments, stuff like that.
Mhm.
But most of it, I would say, just learning from the past similar projects we've done that, okay, this one I should have quoted 1,500 more or whatnot, and just kind of use that as a guide, I guess. So
Mhm.
just kind of
Gotcha.
learning the hard way.
Gotcha. Can I ask? I'm curious always about kind of price sensitivity to companies' quotes,
Yeah.
and I'm always encouraging companies to raise their prices, right, whenever possible. I'm just kind of curious, what percentage of quotes that you put out do you lose because of price?
I would say on landscape jobs, I probably land about 60% of them, I would say,
Okay,
around there. Um, I'd have to go more into my number. That's one of my goals this year, get more into my numbers, realize just on that side of the business what I really
sure.
need to improve on. But yeah, I would say that.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Great. Well, good deal. Well, what does the next few years look like here, Aiden? I mean, you guys still in growth mode, or you guys in kind of a nice level place with the team that you have so far?
Yeah, I would say grow mode. I would say the next thing I'd like to get to two maintenance crews. So right now we have one full-time mowing crew. So I'd like to get to two crews of that. And then just kind of expand the horizon, a hardscape crew, a landscape crew, maybe irrigation, stuff like that.
Uh huh.
But I guess just growing at a slower pace. I guess our biggest constraint is just getting the customer. Once we get the customer, we do quality work, build a relationship with them. And most of our customers we've had for, as soon as we get them, then they have us, if we mow, then they have us do the mulch or whatever comes up. They always, ask us first if we would like to quote it.
I believe that you guys got a ton of amazing reviews.
Yeah. Yeah, we try. I need to get on for more people, but so,
Yeah, I was looking through there. Yeah, lists you guys, team members by name, different places and stuff, and just like really pegged at 5 stars. That's cool, Aiden. Well, if folks are in well, let me ask this: what is the radius that you guys will work in? How
pretty
far how
much
far around to your area?
pretty much just St. Charles County.
Okay.
So for landscaping jobs and stuff of that nature, we'll go a little further. So like I guess we're in St. Charles County, and then you go one way, it's Warren County and then St. Louis County. We don't really ever go into St. Louis County. We'll go into Warren County just for like landscape jobs and stuff.
Okay.
But for mowing, we'll only do St. Charles County. So I would say around 20 to 25-mile radius.
Okay.
And that's pretty. So of the 5 days of mowing, 4 of the days is basically just in Wentzville. And then
Okay.
one of the days is like a little further drive to the other side of the county, I guess. So that's kind of
Gotcha.
where we're at now. But our routes are pretty compact on the route for the day. Like once we get to the first job, then the rest of the route is pretty close by. So
That's great. Love that. Love that. Fantastic. Well, great, Ayden. If folks are in the St. Charles County or Warren County, looking for a great lawn maintenance crew to work with in the future, landscaping, hardscaping, what are some of the best ways to get in touch with you guys?
yeah, you can give us a call. Our website, diamondlawnlandscape.com. That's the best way, by email. I feel like sometimes I'm in the field if I miss a call, but email is the best way. And then, yeah, just set up a consultation and go from there. So
Perfect. Great. So head over to diamondlawnlandscape.com. Got a great site over there with all the contact information. Great. Well, Ayden, thanks so much for coming on the show today and sharing all your experience. I mean, you're a really young guy and have created an amazing business so far. And I know it's just going to go amazingly. We'd love to check back in here over the next year and see how things are going.
yeah, that'd be good. Thank you. Thanks for having me.